Alan Wake 2's DLCs are the type of things where you're like, yeah, I'll just check out one episode and then suddenly it's stupid o'clock and your room is dark and you're arguing with a TV show and a lake. Today I'm talking Night Springs and the Lake House. What they absolutely nail, what they are kindly messy, and if you should actually play them now or just let them chill in your backlog for a bit. Hey everyone, I'm Stefan. I love diving into games, big, small, weird, you name it. But I know not everyone has hours to spare just to find out the game wasn't worth the time. That's where I come in. I play, I test, I give you a quick honest review so you know whether a game deserves your next session or your backlog. Let's jump in. Alright, quick catch up so we're on the same page. In the base game, Night Springs is this in-universe Twilight Zone style TV show that's just there. Cool posters, references, vibes, but you don't actually play it. The Night Spring DLC basically says, okay, fine, step into the TV then, and turns 3 episodes into full playable stories. Each episode has its own flavor. One is pure fan service chaos, where familiar characters are cranked all the way up and the game is making fun of itself the whole time. Another is more slow mystery, kind of that I know something's wrong but I can't point it out yet feeling. And the last one is that full what even is reality kind of thing, where if just into Remedy's connected universe stuff, your brain's gonna light up. Then you've got the Lake House, which is a different vibe. Instead of TV episodes, you're basically walking into a Federal Bureau of Control facility glued to Cauldron Lake, and obviously everything that happens there is a terrible idea. It's way more classified experiment gone wrong than haha weird TV show. If you played Control, Lake House is like someone dropped a mini Control expansion right into Alan Wake 2. You've got labs, offices, weird projects, and all these files that finally connected some of the dots between Control and Alan Wake. And that's the big thing with Lake House. For Lord nerds, it's huge. It gives you those that explains that moments where random lines from the base game or Control suddenly makes more sense. So yeah, Night Springs definitely playable, weird TV fever dream. Lake House, creepy Remedy lore, bunker attached to a cursed lake. Once you have that in mind, the real question is what's actually like to play this? So let's start with Night Springs. Night Springs is Remedy going, what if we just let the writers go off? It doesn't completely change how Alan Wake 2 plays, but it messes with how you experience it. You've still got that familiar combat, but each episode leans into a different mood. One feels like a power fantasy where you're just vibing and causing chaos. One is slower and uneasy, like walking around with the constant something's off feeling. And then there's one that basically attacks you with meta weirdness and reality bends. The fun here is mostly in the writing and the moments. You'll hear these lines that poke fun at critics, at Remedy, at you for overthinking everything. If you enjoy that we're in on the joke together tone, you're gonna be smiling through a lot of this. In terms of mechanics, don't expect some big new system or anything. It's not that kind of DLC. Think of it as same toolkit, new situations. The joy is more in how wild the scenarios are rather than the game suddenly turning into something else. Now the Lake House. Lake House feels a lot closer to classic survival horror. You're in this creepy research facility, stuck to Cauldron Lake, there are experiments, and shocker, it all went badly. The standout here is the enemies. You get new threats like the Painted Man that push you harder on ammo and positioning. Some fights feel way more stressful than the average encounter in the base game, and it really leans into that I'm low on resources and I hate it, but it's great feeling. Exploration is where Lake House shines. You're wandering through labs, corridors that feels like someone meshed Control's oldest house with the Pacific Northwest nightmare of Alan Wake. Weird notes, strange rooms, little details that make you want to poke into every corner, even though you know it's a bad idea. Puzzles are there, but they are not out to break your brain. It's more light puzzle stuff and environmental gating to keep things moving instead of making you stuck for half an hour staring at a door. If you create content or just like reacting to games, Night Springs gives you a ton of quotable lines and absurd moments. Lake House gives you those slow dread and then sudden panic sequences that are perfect for horror playthroughs. So you basically got Chaos TV DLC and a Spooky Science DLC. Both fun, but in totally different ways. Alright, let's talk about the important part. Do you play this now or just throw them in the backlog list with the 40 other games and pretend you'll get there someday? Starting with the Night Springs. Night Springs is short but dense. You're not getting a massive campaign here, more like a few hours, but it's packed with weirdness, fan service, and moments that are just fun to experience and rewatch. If you loved all the in-game TV, live action bits, and that whole meta weirdness in Alan Wake 2, this is basically made for you. It really feels like the chunk of personality that was missing from the base game. If you didn't vibe with that stuff, or you're only here for deep mechanics and don't care about remedies being strange on purpose, then yeah, this might be more of a backlog for sale situation. It's more about flavor than raw gameplay upgrades. Now, the Lake House. Lake House is much closer to you probably should play this if you care about Remedy's connected universe. It pushes the controlling forward, gives you more context on what's going on with the lake, and feels more like a proper lore chapter instead of a random side story. If you're into horror stories, atmosphere, and piecing together lore, this one is a strong, yeah, play it from me. The enemies' encounters are tense, the facility is fun to explore in a terrifying way, and it slots nicely into the whole Remedy mythos. If you're more of a hours per dollar person, both DLCs might feel a bit short at full price. In that case, a totally valid move is wishlist them, wait for a discount, then binge both back to back. So, super simple version. Already love Alan Wake 2 and Control? Play both, just do it. Like horror and weird stories, but you're not obsessed with Remedy? Definitely play Lake House. Keep Night Springs in the when I'm in the mood for weird pile. Need long, grindy games to feel satisfied? Wait for a sale and treat them like a really good compact epilogue. So yeah, Alan Wake 2's DLCs aren't just extra missions. Night Spring is basically Remedy's brain having a TV meltdown, and the Lake House is that one classified folder you definitely shouldn't open, which obviously means you're going to open it. If this helped you decide what to do with these DLCs, hit the like button so the algorithm doesn't throw this video straight into the dark place. Alright, I'll see you there, blink a flashlight.